we will continue the discussion of frequency reuse. So, frequency reuse. So, frequency reuse is nothing but reusing the same carrier frequency at a different geographical location, by using which these two locations should not get interfered. For example, if you see say our FM 98.3 megahertz, you have different FM stations at different locations, but both of them means all of them are using same carrier frequency, which is 98.3 megahertz. So same 98.3 megahertz and 98.4 megahertz FM stations so are operated over different geographical areas. For example, in Delhi there will also be 98.3 megahertz. Similarly, in Hyderabad there will also be 98.3 megahertz FM station. Both are using same carrier frequency, but they don't they will not be interfered. Why? Because so those two locations are sufficiently they are at a sufficient distance so that they are not getting interfered. So here what happened is the same frequency we have reused in Hyderabad. So if you consider it is first used in Delhi, so it is reused in Hyderabad, and similarly it is reused in Bangalore, like that. So in cellular communication also, the carrier frequency we allocate to a user can be reused at sufficiently at a great sufficiently at other distance where so we can allocate the same carrier frequency to other user who is sufficiently far away from this present cell, so that they will not create interference to each other. So that is what actually frequency reuse concept. How we will use this to increase the capacity in cellular system, we are now going to discuss. Say first, for example, there is a single cell system. If there is a single cell system means the entire area will be treated as one cell, something like this, a bigger cell. So we explain the necessity of frequency use with an example of some numbers. So if there is a bigger area, means for entire city or some area, we are keeping only one base station. Not we are treating it as one cell, and this is what single cell system. There what happens is, for example, if you have 30 carriers, in this entire city or area, you are going to use only these 30 carriers, and the number of simultaneous users will be 30 only. But the city is bigger and you are treating it as a single cell, so there will be so much congestion for the other users. Whoever try to make call, their call may be disconnected. Why? Because all 30 channels are got engaged. Right? So if this is a single cell system, this is a problem, and what you have to do is, because it has to provide coverage to this entire area, so this base station needs to be have a greater height and need to radiate a larger transmit power. So instead of this, what we can do is we can go for smaller cells, something like this. So we can go for smaller cells. There will be smaller base stations, something like this. And for example, if you have 30 channels, what you do is, for this cell, say 30 channels, we divide by 3. For example, we are say we have channels A means carriers A, carriers B, set of carriers B and set of carriers C. Say maybe A is allocated here and B is allocated here and C is allocated here, and similarly A is allocated here. Like that, what we are going for smaller cells and divided the available spectrum into a few parts. So available spectrum was available carriers into a few parts. In this example, we have considered into 3 parts. Right? Like this, if I repeat, so entire area, something like this. Say for example, this group of cells which are sharing what entire spectrum, say ACB, something like this. So if a group of cells which are sharing the entire spectrum, entire bandwidth available to the system, a group of cells sharing entire bandwidth or entire bandwidth or spectrum or carriers that are available to the system, we call this as a cluster. So here cluster is these 3 cells here, because we have divided the available spectrum into 3 parts. Then this particular group is called as what? Cluster. And the same group will be what? Means the same cluster will be repeated over the entire coverage, means entire where you have to provide the coverage, the entire city or area, you are going to repeat the same cluster. So what is the cluster size is the number of cells present in the cluster. Cluster size is, so it will be obviously in how many parts we are dividing the available spectrum is nothing but what actually cluster size or number of cells present in a cluster. So if you repeat like this, say for example, this cluster is repeated for, say for example, 10 times within the entire area, then what happens is each cluster can support 30 users, and 10 times means you are going to support in the same city area, you are going to support how many users now? 10 into 30, so that will be 300 users. So now what happens is here frequency reuse has been taken place. Here the same frequencies A are got reused here, right? Assuming those two are not what interfering. If they get interfered each other, then what happens is the signal to interference ratio will be higher, and both communication will be lost. So we repeat this sufficiently at a far distance, so that they will not interfere. At the same time, we will be able to have more number of carriers per unit area. Earlier, say for example, it is say 100 kilometers square. Say earlier the total say 50 kilometers square, the city or urban area, total area. Now what is the number of carriers per unit area is nothing but 30 by 50 kilometers square. Right, now it will be what? The per unit area now got what? Increased to 300 divided by the area is same only, right? So the area is same only, but we have increased the capacity per unit area by 10 times. Why? Because we could able to accommodate 10 clusters within the bigger cell. So as you increase more number of clusters, so you can increase in 2 ways. Say for example, you can increase number of clusters in two ways. One is reduce the cell size. So if you are reducing cell size means the base station height has to be reduced, transmit power has to be reduced, and transmit antenna must be down tilted, much down tilted towards the ground. If you take these cautions, then what you can do is you can go for smaller cell size, and thereby you'll be able to repeat the cluster within the service area a more number of times. So this is one way. The other way is that here we have chosen what we have divided the entire spectrum in only three parts, right? So if not like this, if I divide the entire spectrum into 8 parts, then what happens is my cluster size will be 8 because I have divided spectrum into 8 parts. So I'll a group of cells which are sharing the entire bandwidth will become now 8 number 8. So only a less number of clusters only will be replicated within the service area. Thereby what happens is, because the number of clusters are reduced, so the number of clusters are reduced, so the capacity will also be reduced. So if you want to increase the capacity, you have to decrease the cluster size, means the number of cells present in the cluster, or you have to decrease the cell size. But the drawback with this decreasing cell size is you will be requiring more number of base stations, and the network will become complex. And one more drawback is the handoffs will be more. The other drawback with the multi-cellular system is handoff. So what is handoff is? So this is a drawback with the in a single cell system. This will not be there. Why? Because within the entire this will be there, but very less. In the entire service area, occasionally a user may go out of the cell. But when you are reducing the cell size to a smaller value, then what happens is it is frequently a user may go from one cell to other cell. If his call is in progress, then when he crosses the border of the cell boundary, then what happens is the call will get connected. Then if there is no handoff mechanism is there, so you are in a call and you are crossing the cell boundary. Then what happens is this user now, when he crossed the boundary, he will be now associating with the new base station. So in this process, what may happen is your call may get disconnected. But if handoff is provided, handoff means this base station will transfer the control to this base station, and it maintains that the call will not get disconnected while he's crossing the boundary. So there is extensive material available in Rappaport textbook about handoffs and how this will be taken place. So handoff means nothing but if a user whose call is in progress and is crossing the boundary, so then there is a need to transfer his call to the new base station without getting disconnected, right? So if you go for smaller cells, the number of handoffs will be more. So thereby what happens is the system will be complex. But the main advantage will be you will be able to accommodate more number of users. You will be able to accommodate more number of users, and thereby the per unit area capacity will be increased. And one more parameter is there. One is we have discussed cluster size. The other parameter called as frequency reuse factor. Frequency reuse factor or frequency reuse ratio also fine. So frequency reuse factor is nothing but in this case it is 1/n, right? In textbook they mention directly n as the what frequency reuse factor. It is that nothing but the meaning is that in how many parts we are going to divide the available spectrum. That is what meaning of what actually frequency reuse factor. So it will be, you can take the reciprocal value of means 1 by the cluster size, or you can take in some other textbooks they directly mention that the cluster size as the reuse factor. If it is given that frequency reuse factor as 1 by 3, you have to understand that the available bandwidth will be divided into 3 parts. Or if it is given as 3 only, then also you have to understand the same thing as what the available spectrum or available number of carriers are going to be divided by 3. So that is what frequency reuse factor. It means how many number of times how many parts you are dividing the available spectrum. We have, so for the clusters are shown here. The clusters are shown here for reuse factor 8 or 1 by 8, or cluster size is here 8. See here. So total available spectrum is divided into 8 parts. So A, B, C, like this, D, E, F, G, and same cluster is repeated here, and same is repeated here because the cluster size is increased. So the number of clusters going to be repeated in the service area will be less, and capacity will be reduced. But the advantage with the higher cluster size, or advantage with the higher reuse factors, means if I take the actual value, the advantage is the distance between this is the spectrum A which is getting reused at this location, right? So now this A will be called as the spectrum, or these channels in A is called as co-channel. A is called as co-channel, or this is called as co-channel cell. And the distance between from here to, I'm just referring A, you can also refer C also, right? For this, where is the co-channel cell? Here it is, right? And for this, where is co-channel? Here it is. And in this diagram, you will be because there are 3 clusters only. How many co-channels you will be able to find is only 2, because this is treating as the primary, and these 2 will be nothing but what? Co-channel cells. So this diagram is shown for what? Example of reuse factor 8 or cluster size 8. Okay, co-channel cell, this one, and the distance between this cell to the center to this center is called as reuse distance. Reuse distance, that is what? D. For a symmetrical cell planning, so the distance from here to here and the distance from here to here must be same for a symmetrical cellular planning. So this is so it will be same only. We have to follow certain procedure while allocating what frequencies to the different cells. That procedure we'll just see now. So this is also D. So this is called reuse distance D, and we have already denoted what the radius of a cell is what? R, right? So D by R ratio is going to play some important role in what analysis. We will be seeing it later. So reuse distance means the distance between the 2 co-channel cells, means both channels are same. The distance between 2 co-channel cells is called as reuse distance D. And this example is shown for what? The cluster size of 8. So same, this is what co-channel for this one. The distance here also it will be same. For a symmetrical system, for every frequency, the co-channel distance, the reuse distance will be same, right? But there is a method to allocate the frequencies, this one, okay. And one more thing, so that method, the method for allocating frequencies to different cells, we will not just going to discuss now. Before that, we should also discuss co-channel. There is one more term called as co-channel interference, because the same frequency is reused here, and because here also the waveforms will be having the same carrier frequency. These receiving filters will also pick up the signals from these co-channel cells. Here the receivers in this cell will also pick up what signals from these co-channel cells, and those the co-channel signals will act as interference for the primary signal, right? So these two will create interference because of the same frequency. That what the nature of the interference is, because of the same frequency they create interference in this cell. That interference is called as what? Co-channel interference. Similarly, these two will create co-channel interference in this cell, and similarly these two will create co-channel interference in this cell. So I am just referring frequencies of A. So same discussion is applied for all other frequencies. Okay, there is a systematic way for allocating frequencies to cells. That is, we are not deriving it, but we just discuss here. There will be two parameters, I values and J value, right? So for example, so the cluster size n is derived to be n is equal to I square plus I into j plus j square. This I and j are what? The shifting parameters. They will be integers. For example, if the cluster size is 3 or reuse factor is 3, it means for I equal to 1, for I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 1, you will get what? The cluster size will be 3. It means it will be 1, and 1 into 1 will be 1, and this is also 1. Right? See, we'll just see what is I and j here. So there will be, say, so the problem is here what? We have multiple cells, and we have divided available carriers. We have divided available carriers into 3 parts for frequency reuse factor 3, and it can be divided into 8 parts for reuse factor 8, like that. And similarly 19, all are possible, something like this. Okay, so for example, so available spectrum is, there are 3 parts. One is what? A, B, C. Say I have allocated the frequencies of A here, then now the problem is I have to locate next A, where the A should be placed, so that everywhere the reuse distance and interference will be symmetrical. So what I do is, so for reuse factor 3, I got the values I equal to 1 and j is equal to 1. So what I'll do, so I have 6 sides, no? So I will, I equal to 1 means, so in one side I will move I number of steps, means here I equal to 1, so I move from here to here. Now I will take 60 degrees rotation. Now from here I will take what? 60 degree rotation. Then I move, how many number of steps is? J number of steps. In this example only j is also 1. So this, and here I stopped. So I have taken 60 degree in counterclockwise direction. So I have stopped here. So this cell will be nothing but what? Co-channel cell for A. And similarly the next co-channel cell will be, I will go this way. I have used this side, no? I am going to now see the other side. I will go I number of steps, right? I will go so I equal to 1, so I stopped here. And now I take 60 degrees counterclockwise direction for this one, then it will be this. So the cell here coming is nothing but what? Co-channel cell for this one. Now I'm going to what again I'll use the next side. I'll go by I number of steps, and I stop here and take 60 degrees rotation. That will be here what this is the other cochlear cell, right? So similarly I have also so I move here I number of steps and come to 60 degrees anti-clockwise direction. So it will be my the next this one, and similarly I have to use the other side. So I go this way, and this will be my A. And I have one more side left. So 60 degrees I have to take. It will be my A. So this way I have allocated the cells with the frequency what A. Similarly I'll go with what B, right, and C. If I choose this as B, and this will be now B, and this will be B. Just here it is there, so just place B here. And if I choose this as C frequencies, then this will be C, and this will be C. Just same cluster you are going. So ACB is there, no? So same ACB must be coming. So here also ACB. So you just have to what identify one frequency cochlear cells. Then remaining frequencies cochlear cells you just place symmetrically. So this way one can allocate what one can identify the cochlear cells. If you follow this allocation, then there will be symmetrical, means in terms of all the reuse distances between cochlear cells will be same, and the cochlear interference will be uniform everywhere. And we have one more diagram here, next one. And one more thing is, okay, so this is for I equal to 2 and j is equal to 1. So this is the frequency allocation for I is equal to, so they are going 2 steps, and what see 1, 2, 3, okay, I equal to 3 and j is equal to 2. Then what is the reuse factor for this one, or cluster size for this one is n is equal to I square, means 9, and 3 into 2 is 6, plus 4 is what 19. So reuse factor here is 19. So they have taken what so I number of steps. So for every side they have utilized to identify what this one, and for so there will be 19 frequencies. We are going to divide the entire bandwidth into 19 parts. So that is n is equal to so 19. And here how many cochlear interferers will be present here is, so on a circle of D reuse distance, on a circle of, because everywhere the distance is same, on a circle of radius D you will be having, in first circle you will be having 6. How many cochlear cells in first tier? Means first tier means, so in first radius of circle D, in first tier cochlear number of cochlear interferers, cochlear cells will be 6. Similarly, you can also find this in second tier, which is of distance 2D. Second tier, the number of cochlear cells will be 12. Right? So we stop the discussion here, and we continue next class.